My background generally is in finance. Many years ago I was an accountant and I joined the board of the Foreign Colonial Investment Trust about 9 years ago. And there I chaired the audit committee, which means we help the board make sure that everyone is happy with the financial reports, including the auditors. And recently we've just published the 2018 results and the annual report, which is on the website. And so we've been quite busy. This is the heavy time of the year. Other than that, we look at the risks and other aspects of the performance of the trust. Well, yes, it was our 150th last year, but we've had a long-term interest in the education of young people with respect to savings, money, spending, and because we are the largest provider of junior ISAs and children's trust funds in the country, so we have a vested interest in getting children engaged with what we do, because they will be our long-term customers. So yes, we've had with Shakespeare School Foundation, which I've known for some time, they have access to 1,000 schools around the country. Last year we had a big blue bus going around the schools and the kids enjoyed that. They got a piggy bank, they learned a few things, all good fun. This year we have a smaller VW 1960s camper, which the kids also enjoy, but so do their parents. And that's going around the schools as we speak. We will continue to do various projects. We have one for university students in Glasgow, and we'll keep on doing ad hoc activities, basically to foster more financial education. It's very important to our future, and so we're committed to continuing programs of that sort. Well, survival means innovation. And so innovation was at the very start of the trust in that 150-year history, with diversification of strange investments in strange railroads in different countries, which allowed people of modest means, as we say, to make that kind of investment without suffering if one of those investments went wrong. And that's the virtue of diversification. That's continued. In the 1920s, we moved into equities. And then in latter years, we moved essentially out of the UK into global equities and indeed including also now private equity, and we have done for the last 10 years. So we have a degree of concentration in each of the things that we do, but overall we are diversified. And that has given us the opportunity to give good returns to our investors at reasonable risk. And that is what we will continue to do. A good risk-reward ratio. Well, the nature of the beast is that we are diversified, and so any particular element can be of interest at a point in time, like Brexit or China or Trump or whatsoever. But none of those things are likely to undermine the trust. In terms of the direct answer to your question, we've been changing the shape of our private equity activities, which has been around about 10% of our overall business. And we're moving from a fund of funds structure to a more direct structure. And that's something that's taking place as we speak and will be evolving over the next year or two. And that could have quite a significant beneficial impact on the performance of our business, again within a risk-reward framework that is acceptable to our investors. There is that risk, and we try to avoid that risk by recognizing that within particular parts of the portfolio, for example in America or in Japan or in Europe, that we do have reasonably concentrated portfolios within those areas. The diversification comes from bringing those areas together and having different bets, if you like, in the different parts of the portfolio. Also, although some of those bets are very long-term bets, and quite often we are long-term investors in the companies in which we do invest. We also put increased emphasis on the environmental and social aspects of the companies that we invest in, because we're investors for the long term. And that is another way of diversifying the risk. We try very hard not to lose the best ideas as a consequence of that, and Paul Niven's job is to make sure that the best ideas do blossom and are not, in your terms, diversified out of the overall results.